Hi everybody, welcome to On the Glide Slope. Today we are in a Piper Warrior 2. This is the aircraft I'm training in the real world. There's not a lot of models for it for prepared, but there's one made by Spike that actually flies pretty close to the real thing, and I've got it configured with pretty good screen layouts for the horizon and the rest, and I've been flying it for the past couple days, so decided I'd make a little video on it. One thing with the low-wing aircraft with the GoPro camera that I use to make these videos is because of the wide angle on the GoPro, it looks like these wings are pointing forward, but from my view they go straight out. So that's one of the disadvantages with this video format, but it is what it is. This is going to be a PilotEdge flight. I'm logged into the PilotEdge network. Once I turn on the avionics, we'll talk to the ground control here. We are at Bakersfield, locally called Meadows, and there's a nice practice area about 10 to 20 miles outside of the Class D airspace here that I'm going to fly to, and I'm going to practice some of the procedures that I was practicing yesterday in real-world training. I'm going to practice turns around a point, and I'm going to practice emergency out procedures. And then if things are going well, I think I'll rig the simulator to throw a failed engine, and then we will make the Mayday call, switch to the emergency squawk code, and deal with the PilotEdge landing in some field somewhere out there. So that's the plan, and I'll see you when we're ready to go. Bakersfield ground, Warrior 15 Juliet Golf.
Warrior 15 Juliet Golf, Bakersfield ground.
Bakersfield ground, we're at the southeast FBO. We'd like taxi for VFR departure to the west, please. We have Papa.
Warrior 5 Juliet Golf, runway 30 right, taxi via Alpha Bravo.
30 right via Alpha Bravo for 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. Bakersfield Tower, Warrior 15 Juliet Golf is ready to go for 30 right at Bravo.
Copy.
Sounds like we stepped on somebody. See if he answers.
Warrior 1 Juliet Golf. Bakersfield Tower, runway 30 right, clear for takeoff. On course turn is approved. Wind 1605.
Clear for takeoff 30 right. On course turn approved for departure to the west. Thanks for the wind 15 Juliet Golf.
Who was calling for clearance? Number 2, Sierra Romeo, read back correct.
Headings are aligned, compass is aligned, we're ready to go.
2 Sierra Romeo, ready to taxi.
Number 2, Sierra Romeo, where are you located?
Cargo ramp, 2 Sierra Romeo.
Number 2, Sierra Romeo,
airspeed's alive.
Traffic, runway 30, taxi via Whiskey, Alpha 8.
50 knots, start to rotate.
Follow traffic via Whiskey, position 8, I think. Position 8, 2 Sierra Romeo.
Let the airplane accelerate.
And Santa Maria Tower, Sierra 722 Sierra Charlie. Apologies, we're on A7.
Trim the airplane.
But, waiting on fire release.
And we're going. So we're going to fly to the end of the runway here. We're going to make a left-hand turn.
Back. Fire.
And then we will...
Number 722 Sierra Charlie, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30 at
go out to the
7,
practice area at about 3,000 feet.
Calm.
Calm, clear for takeoff at Alpha 7.
Okay, we're out here in the practice area, and we're going to just practice some maneuvers here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice a power off stall. So I'm going to configure the airplane like it's an approach, down to about 1500 RPM. I find the RPM here in the simulated Piper and the real one don't quite match, but they're pretty close. Start to slow the airplane down here. Hold our altitude at about 2500. First notch of flaps. Next notch of flaps. All the flaps in. And we're going to steer the nose with our feet, not with the aileron, and pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. We're down to 60. We're still descending. There we go. And we should get a stall horn pretty soon here. We're down to 48. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 50. Starting to get mushy, starting to shudder. That's realistic. There's our stall horn. Airplane stalled, nose down. Full throttle. Speed is up. Flaps.
Hey, John Wayne Power, Diamond Star.
Next notch of flaps.
285 Delta Sierra's at
Final notch of flaps.
20 right, ready
There we
for take
go.
off.
Diamond 285, Delta
Climb
Sierra,
back up
Charlie
to
Tower,
2500, and then we'll do a power on stall, and then we'll do some
20 right for takeoff, 5 Delta
We'll do
Sierra.
some no power engine off approaches, or at least one emergency procedure. Okay, now we're going to do a power on stall. So we'll slow the airplane to about 1500 RPM.
Diamond 5 Delta Sierra,
Keep our pitch up.
Roger, see it.
Over to departure, 5 Delta Sierra.
So we're not descending.
On 0 tower, 12 reach 45 Romeo, ready for departure, whiskey 26 left.
And this would be simulating a stall on takeoff.
Number 45 Romeo, Ontario Tower, runway 26 left, clear for
Okay,
takeoff.
now we'll do full
Wind calm.
power.
26 left and
We'll
clear
climb.
for takeoff.
And again, it's all about rudders
20
here.
45 Romeo.
Keep climbing. Airplane slowing. Use the nose with your feet, not with the ailerons. See if we can get it to stall. Keep pulling. There we go. Okay, airplane stalled. Nose down. And recover the airplane as we gain airspeed. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn and get us up to about 3,000 feet. Then we're going to do a few power off emergency procedures. Then we'll go back to the barn. We'll use this opportunity to practice our high bank turns, our steep turns. So about 45 degrees of bank, plenty of right rudder, and pull. There we are. Careful not to balloon, and now we'll roll, and we'll do one this way. That's pretty realistic to the real thing for me. The rollout's not quite the same, but it's close. Okay. We'll turn back this way, and then we'll run our emergency procedure for having no power. I'm going to keep Bakersfield Tower on the avionics, just in case we need to talk to them. We'll head roughly north here.
Number 45 Romeo, radar contact.
Now our wind was from 150. We would ideally want to land in a
Passing through 15.
field that is into the wind.
Number 45 Romeo, roger.
So
Seems to be a discrepancy in your squawk code, squawk 1365.
we will level off.
1365 provisionally about that.
And then we're about 3,000 feet, and then all of a sudden, no power.
Morning, Henderson, Southwest 186.
So first things first, trim the airplane to glide at about 73 knots.
Southwest 186, Henderson, ground.
Then we make sure fuel pump is on. We make sure carb heat is on, make sure mixture is full. Make sure our magnetos are both to both. See if the airplane starts. Okay, airplane doesn't start, we would squawk 7777. Switch to 121.5, call Mayday, 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 tell them that we're going to be landing with no motor. Now we're looking for a place to land. Now wind is coming from behind us, so I'm going to try to make as much of a gentle turn around as I can this way. Still trimming And while we're at it, we're going to get everything to go. So fuel pump goes off, carb heat goes off, our gas avionics would go off, we'd switch the tank to
It's
off.
not me.
The COPA, COPA instructor, just so you know, you're transmitting on the frequencies a lot. Number 45 Romeo, contact SoCal departure, see ya.
Then we're making a
Just
gentle
watch it.
turn here because we don't want to bleed too much altitude. We're down to 2,000 feet. Okay, I got my field. I see a nice big one without a road. Now there's an airport in front of us. Let's presume I can't get there. In fact, I know I can't get there. I don't have enough altitude. So,
And
we're a little high.
Santa Barbara Tower, Sierra 722, Sierra Charlie 2.5.
Speed's still
out,
good.
Inbound on the ILS-7.
Sierra 722, Sierra Charlie, Santa Barbara
Give us a
Tower,
notch of
runway
flaps.
7, clear to land. Wind is 140 at 6. 140 at 3, sorry.
And I'll take us down to about
403,
500 feet, then we'll do a go around.
Southwest 186. Henderson is departing runway 35 left and 35 right at this time.
Okay,
so
we're
the
still
Valley 3 won't be
gliding
usable.
pretty well.
Can you verify
notch of
that a heading
flaps.
of 180 on departure will allow
That's our target.
for pilot to maintain terrain and obstruction clearance after departure?
Full flaps.
And 2 Sierra Charlie.
Yeah, sounds 43.5 left and 180 on the heading on departure. Southwest
Get ourselves
186.
trimmed for neutral here. So the go around, we're not working against our elevator pressure. And we're going to bring it in right on this baby. That's our plan. Okay, this is, as my instructor said yesterday, a dangerous situation.
Southwest 186 clears San Francisco International Airport. On departure, fly heading.
Okay, we're about
180,
there,
expect
so
rate of
now we'll go
vectors
around.
Coaldale, that's going to be a
Full
right
flaps,
turn heading
full
180.
power,
Expect rate of vectors
gain
Coaldale.
airspeed.
Then is filed.
First notch of flaps,
Maintain 7,000. Expect
Next notch of flaps.
340, 5 minutes after departure.
next notch of
Departure
flaps,
frequency with Las Vegas.
and start to climb out.
Squawk 2244.
So there we go.
Too low. Terrain.
I hear you.
All right. That's 3.5 left departure.
So that would be a
right turn over the deal.
lost motor procedure.
7,000, 3915,
We're about
18.4 is departure, 2244.
12 miles from
86.
Bakersfield. I'd like to land there, so we'll do a quick turn here. We'll do turns
Number
around a
2,
point.
Sierra
We'll get up to
Fly the missed approach as published. Contact Santa Barbara.
We'll get up to
departure
about
0.55.
1,500 feet, and we'll pick one of these intersections and do turns around a point. In fact, here's a good one right over here. So this intersection right here, and the key thing is when we are flying into the wind, and on the downwind leg we need more bank, and as we're flying upwind and a crosswind we need less bank.
Dade, American 3192,
So-
radio check please.
American 3192.
Myself
Henderson
trimmed
ground. I got
here.
you 5x5. How do you hear me?
And I'm gonna basically try to fly on this grid system here. So
Southwest 186. Sorry for that delay.
there's
Read
the
that
intersection
once,
there. I'm gonna try to fly around that
Thank you.
at an
16.
equidistant circle here. We'll see how it goes. Not trimmed very well. There's not a lot of wind, so the crosswind component of this training isn't too real, but we're doing okay. That trim is tough to get. Okay. Keep coming. A little steeper bank here now because we're starting to go downwind. It's a little harder to fly simulated because I can't feel the airplane the way you can feel it in the real thing, but We're doing okay. Now we're starting to come in the one we can flatten out a little bit. I overturned that one a little. Okay, we'll go up to 2,000 feet. We'll head back to Bakersfield and we'll land. That's our plan. Okay, we're about to enter the downwind leg for 30 right here, left traffic. I'm supposed to report on final, so that's what we'll do. Descending to pattern altitude, which is 1,500 feet here at Bakersfield. We've gone through our checklist, but let's just check again. Gas, fullest tank. Fuel pump is on. Carb heat, we'll do that when we get to the threshold. Mixture is full rich. Prop is full. Okay, here we are at pattern altitude. We'll make our base turn, or downwind turn.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, I have you in sight, runway 30 right, clear to land, 11605.
Cleared to land at 30 right for 15 Juliet Golf. We're making left traffic. Thanks for the winds. Okay, so we are on our downwind leg. We got a little bit of a tailwind. We're at pattern altitude. Okay, we're at the threshold of the runway. So now we will...
Number 20 Romeo, Santa Barbara Tower, you still on this frequency?
Cut our throttle. Carb heat on. Fuel pump is on.
Not 20 Charlie, number 2
Trim the aircraft for about 70 knots.
242 Sierra Romeo.
Descent rate is about right. First notch flaps. Field here is at 500 feet, so be mindful of that. Make our turn on to base. Landing lights are on. A little more power. I found that with this simulated Piper, I've had a challenge making steep enough turns into final. So we'll see how that goes here, but I've been overshooting the runway. Here we are on to base. Take a peek. Yeah, we're about the right place for 30 right. We're a little low, but that's okay for our glide slope. Turn. Bakersfield Tower, 15 Juliet Golf is turning final for 30 right.
Number 5 Juliet Golf, thank you. Here, 707 Charlie Papa, comms, ring
Get in all of our flaps.
Left. Clear to land, wind is calm.
Clear to land.
And we're landing down by the Vazzy lights here.
7220 Charlie on the ground, Santa Barbara.
500 feet. So that's not quite the...
Number 2 Charlie, roger.
It's sort of an illusion there, the way you've got the
get a hold of
long
the instructor
threshold.
That's making the announcements and the briefing for these scenarios. For a couple of times now, he's been making his briefs on the frequency. I think he's touching the wrong push-to-talk button, and it's transmitting all over my frequencies.
We'll do. 20 Charlie.
Thanks, buddy.
San Bernardino Tower.
Got our sight picture,
688.
allowing for a little bit of the crosswind here, and a little bit of a tailwind. Full flaps, make sure rich.
90688, San Bernardino Tower. Where are you at in reference to the field?
I'm about 10 miles west of the airfield.
Straighten us out a little bit here.
Number 688, thank you. Enter straight in, runway 6, cleared to land. Wind is calm.
Okay, runway 6, clear to land.
Cut our throttle. There we go. Not quite center line, but pretty good.
Southwest 186.
No, we're not done. We got to get off this runway.
Taxi 35
We're still
left.
talking air traffic control.
Goal.
Southwest 186, Henderson, ground
brakes
runway
here.
35 left. Taxi via Alpha.
Okay, Alpha down at 35 left. 186.
And we'll come off the runway right over here. Contact tower and let them know we're here.
Number 5, Julie Golf, right turn 1 able. Taxi ramp via Alpha, remain this frequency.
Right turn, we're doing it here at Juliet, and we will or stay at this frequency and taxi to the ramp. Thanks much, 15 Julie Golf.
Air 7 Charlie Golf, left turn 1 able. Taxi ramp via Whiskey, monitor ground.
On the way down. Go ahead and disconnect here. Thanks for that.
All right, so we can't clean up the air
Roger, have
till
a
we're
good day.
past this threshold. Now we can. So we will go back to standby on our altimeter, or on our transponder, turn off the fuel pump, turn off the carb heat, oops, turn off the avionics. Take back the flaps, and we'll go to the ramp. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Turned off all the radios. I'll be interested to see how it looks. And I didn't have a chance, just because I was short on time, to actually practice the Mayday procedure, but we'll do that next time and see how the PilotEdge guys go with that. The scenery I didn't mention, it's the ORBX SoCal scenery. I think it works great. It can be heavy on frame rates in certain areas, but it really looks super. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. So thanks for going with me on my little simulated lesson, and I'll continue to do this, simulate things that I've been doing in my real-world lesson out here in the sim afterwards. I think it's good practice for me, and hopefully it's interesting for you guys. So thanks again for watching.